A very good morning to all of you children. We further continue this chapter. In last class we have seen that how is the pattern of magnetic field in case of a current carrying straight conductor, and how this magnetic field is affected with distance, with change in electric current. Now, to find out the direction of magnetic field in a current carrying conductor, there is a rule given by Maxwell, and that rule is known as right hand thumb rule. So as I have explained in last class, the right hand thumb rule says that if we hold a current carrying conductor in our right hand, so must remember that we have to hold the current carrying conductor in our right hand in such a way that the thumb indicates the direction of current, then the finger wrapped around it shows the direction of magnetic field. So initially, when my thumb is in upward direction, the finger wrap in anti-clockwise direction. But if I change the direction of current, suppose I hold it in this way so that the thumb is downwards, it shows the direction of current, then the direction of fingers are clockwise, so this shows the direction of magnetic field. So first, what is the purpose of this rule? So you will write with the help of this rule we can find out the direction of magnetic field associated with a current carrying conductor. So this is the purpose of Maxwell's right hand thumb rule. And then you will write the statement, because both type of question can be asked. Sometimes they simply give the statement and they asked you to name the rule. It may be a 1 mark question, then you have to name the rule only, that yes, this is right hand thumb rule. And sometimes they can ask state right hand thumb rule. In that case, you have to write a statement for it. So for a statement, you write down, if we hold a current carrying conductor in our right hand, in such a way that the thumb indicates the direction of current, then the fingers wrapped around it shows the direction of magnetic field. So very important rule. You must learn the statement, and I think it is clear to you what the rule states. Now there is a question, example 13.1. A current through a horizontal power line flows in east to west direction. So let us discuss this question. You must write the statement. Now example 13.1. So a current through a horizontal power line. So current is flowing through a horizontal power line, and as you know, this is east direction and this is west direction, upward, north and downward, south. So current is flowing from east to west. What is the direction of magnetic field at a point directly below it and at a point directly above it? So this is the direction of current, I. Current is flowing from east to west direction, and you have to answer the direction of magnetic field above this wire and below this wire. So if you have to find the direction of magnetic field, then if you hold the wire in this way, so the current is moving in this direction, so the magnetic field lines are in upward direction here. So as you know, this direction is north and this is south. So we can say that above the power line, the magnetic field is from south to north, and below it, it means if we hold the wire in this way, so you see the thumb indicates the direction of current and the fingers wrapped around it are moving downwards, so the magnetic field below the wire will be in downward direction. So above the wire, south to north, and below the wire, just opposite, you can say it is north to south. This is the direction of magnetic field. So that's why in solution they have given the current in the east-west direction. Applying the right hand thumb rule, we get the direction of magnetic field at a point below the wire is from north to south. The direction of magnetic field at a point directly above the wire is from south to north. So I think it is clear to you children. Now next topic, magnetic field due to a current through a circular loop. Circular loop means we have taken a circular wire in which there is a single turn. So let us draw a diagram for it. So again we have to take a cardboard as we have taken in case of a straight long conductor. So this time we have to make two holes in this cardboard because this loop is circular one, so we have to pass through it. So we have make two holes in the cardboard, and then the ends of this circular coil is connected with a battery and a plug key like this. So direction of current is in clockwise direction. Now you have to sprinkle the iron fillings on the cardboard, and when you gently tap the cardboard, this time again you will get concentric circle near the two segments of the wire like this, and these concentric circles shows the direction of magnetic field around it, and as we move away from the wire, the circles are bigger and bigger, and near the center it is almost straight, so it shows that magnetic field is uniform at the center. So first draw this diagram. This is magnetic field due to a current through a circular loop, because all diagrams are important. So must draw this figure. Now write about it. Write down the magnetic lines of force. Write down the magnetic lines of force near each segment of the wire. Near each segment of the wire are circular. Are circular. And form concentric circles. And form concentric circles. Then write the magnetic lines of force. The magnetic lines of force near the center of the coil. Near the center of the coil are almost straight line. Are almost straight line. At the center of the coil, magnetic field is uniform. Magnetic field is uniform. Now reading the first paragraph given on page 229 of NCERT book, you also concentrate. We know that magnetic field produced by a current carrying wire at a given point depends directly on current passing through it. So in previous case, when we have taken a long straight conductor, we have seen that as we increase the amount of current through the circuit, we are getting more concentric circles. If we decrease the current, we are getting less concentric circles. So strength of magnetic field directly depends on amount of current flowing through the circuit. Now here we have taken a circular loop of single turn. But if suppose there are n turns, n means n any number, suppose you have taken 2, 3, 4, 5 turns, you have taken a coil, then magnetic field will be n times. If there is a circular coil having n turns, the field produced is n times as larger as that produced by a single turn. This is because the current in each circular turn has same direction and the field due to each turn then just adds up. So this line is important. You write this sentence that if there is a circular coil, if there is a circular coil having, if there is a circular coil having n turns, comma, the field produced is n times as larger, the field produced is n times as larger as that produced by a single turn, as that produced by a single turn. So this topic is complete, children. Now we will discuss the magnetic field due to current in a solenoid. due to current in a solenoid. So first try to understand what a solenoid is. Now to make a solenoid, suppose there is a cylindrical roll and we wrap a wire around it, and then we take out this cylinder, so you will get a spring-like structure. So that spring-like structure is a solenoid. When you pass current through it, it means if you connect it through a battery, a strong magnetic field is produced, and the magnetic field produced by a solenoid is similar to that of a bar magnet. And as you know, in case of bar magnet, I tell you in the last class, the figure 13.4 is very important. A magnetic field produced due to a bar magnet. So a similar type of magnetic field is produced in case of a solenoid. So first write what a solenoid is. Write a coil of many circular turns. A coil of many circular turns wrapped closely, wrapped closely in the shape of a cylinder, in the shape of a cylinder is called a solenoid, is called a solenoid. Now a very important question, that show the pattern of magnetic field around a current carrying solenoid. So again there is a important diagram for current carrying solenoid. So you also draw this figure. So first draw the spring-like structure. So draw a spring-like structure first. Then connect the two ends of this spring-like structure with a battery. And we have connected a switch or key with it. So first we have drawn a spring-like structure which is a solenoid, and when you plug the key, current start flowing through it, and you will get the magnetic field lines like this. So this is the field. Roughly I have drawn around a current carrying solenoid. You have to practice it several times and must mark the direction of field lines. As I have discussed earlier, the magnetic field lines always move from north to south. So the arrow indicates the direction of magnetic field line. When you will draw this diagram, you must be careful that all these lines which are passing from inside of a solenoid must be parallel, because inside a solenoid the magnetic field is uniform throughout, and this is negative terminal. So this side N for negative, N for north. In this way you can remember that this is north pole, and just another side will be south pole. Must draw it, very important drawing. Now I am reading this topic from second sentence, page 229, magnetic field due to a current in a solenoid. The pattern of magnetic field lines around a current carrying solenoid is shown in figure. Compare the pattern of field with magnetic field around a bar magnet. Do they look similar? So the answer is yes, they are similar. In fact, one end of the solenoid behaves as a magnetic north pole while the other behaves as a south pole. The field lines inside the solenoid are in the form of parallel straight line. This indicates that magnetic field is same at all the points inside the solenoid. This is the field, that is, the field is uniform inside the solenoid. So you write few sentences. First sentence you write, the figure shows the pattern of magnetic field lines. The pattern of magnetic field lines is similar to that of a bar magnet. Is similar to that of a bar magnet. Next sentence you write, the field lines inside a solenoid are in the form of parallel straight lines. This indicate that magnetic field is uniform. Inside a solenoid. Now, if you pass large current through a solenoid, then inside it a very strong magnetic field is produced, and this magnetic field can be used to magnetize a piece of soft iron, and the magnet so produced is known as electromagnet. So change the line, change the paragraph and write this also. A strong magnetic field, a strong magnetic field produced inside a solenoid, produced inside a solenoid can be used can be used to magnetize to magnetize a piece of magnetic material like soft iron like soft iron. The magnet so formed is called electromagnet. The magnet so formed is called electromagnet. And for electromagnet, you must draw this figure. Figure 13.11. Draw the diagram. All diagrams are very important. So you must practice this figure 13.11 because I have seen sometimes they ask this question. Sorry. Now we will discuss some inside questions given on page 229. First question is, consider a circular loop of wire lying in the plane of table. Let the current pass through the loop clockwise. Apply the right hand rule to find out the direction of magnetic field inside and outside the loop. So this question is homework, page 229. Question number 1. All these are homework. Question number 2. If you will unable to draw it, I will explain in next class. But first try yourself. Then second question. The magnetic field in a given region is uniform. Draw a diagram to represent it. So either you will draw this diagram or the magnetic field around a bar magnet. Then question number 3. Choose the correct option. The magnetic field inside a long straight solenoid carrying current is 0, decreases as we move towards its end, increases as we move towards its end, and fourth option is the same at all points. So fourth option is correct, as we have discussed that magnetic field lines are parallel inside the solenoid. It shows that the strength of magnetic field is uniform. It means magnetic field is same at each and every point inside the solenoid. So fourth option is the correct one. Now next topic is, children, force on a current carrying conductor in a magnetic field. Force on a current carrying conductor in a magnetic field. Now, so far we have seen that when current flows through a conductor, a magnetic field is produced around it, and the field so produced exert a force on a magnetic compass needle placed near it, and there will be a deflection in a magnetic compass needle, or it can deflect a magnet also. Now, it was Ampere who first discovered that a magnet also exert force on a current carrying conductor, and to prove it he performed an experiment, and activity 13.7 is given in your book for this very important activity, which shows that a magnet also exert force on a current carrying conductor. So first draw this figure. Again, this diagram is important, so draw the figure 13.12 on page 230. Now look at this figure, children, how a magnet exert a force on a current carrying conductor. So I am reading activity 13.7. Take a small aluminium rod AB. So AB is a small aluminium rod. It is about 5 centimeter long. Using two connecting wires, suspend it horizontally from a stand. So we have taken a stand, and through the wires we have hang it horizontally. Place a strong horseshoe magnet in such a way that the rod lies between the two poles of the magnetic field directed upwards. Then we have taken a horseshoe magnet. Suppose these are the poles of horseshoe magnet, and the aluminium rod is in between the poles like this. These are the two poles, north pole and south pole of a horseshoe magnet, and we have placed the aluminium rod in between the poles. Suppose this is north and this is south pole. Connect the aluminium rod in series with a battery, a key and a rheostat. So we have connected the wire with a battery here and a key. If you want, you can connect it with a rheostat also, so that we can change the current in the circuit. Now pass a current through the aluminium rod from the end B to end A. Now as we plug the key, the current start flowing, and you know the direction of current is from positive to negative. So in this rod, the current will enter through the end B and will move through towards the point A. So this is the direction of current. So as the current flows through the wire, you will observe that it is deflected towards west direction, or you can say that it is deflected towards left. You will notice that the rod get displaced. Reverse the direction of current. Now how to reverse the direction of current? It means if we make this terminal negative and this one positive. So if you reverse the direction of current, you will observe that the rod is deflected towards right, then just opposite. It means as we reverse the direction of current, the direction of force also changes. The displacement of a rod in the above activity suggests that force is exerted on a current carrying aluminium rod when it is placed in a magnetic field. So why the rod is displaced when we pass current through it? Because when we pass current through it, it is placed between the poles of a horseshoe magnet. So the magnet exert a force on it. That's why rod is displaced. Now the direction of force can be changed by changing the direction of current through the circuit. And another way of changing the direction of force is by reversing the direction of magnetic field. How we can reverse the direction of magnetic field? Look at the diagram carefully. Here north pole is upwards and the south pole is downwards. It means magnetic field is from north to south in downward direction. If you reverse it, it means now the south pole is in upward direction and north pole is in downward direction. Then also direction of force will be changed. So it is once again observed that the direction of force acting on a current carrying rod get reversed. It shows that direction of force on conductor depends on direction of current and direction of magnetic field. So two important conclusion that when we place a current carrying conductor in a magnetic field, it experiences a force and the direction of force depends on direction of current and second the direction of magnetic field. Now it is also observed that when current, electric current and magnetic field are perpendicular to each other, it means they are making an angle of 90 degree, then force is maximum. So Fleming has given a rule to find out the direction of force in such a case. So Fleming's left hand rule, it states that if we stretch the middle finger, this is known as forefinger, and thumb of our left hand in this way, such that the middle finger indicates the direction of current, the forefinger indicates the direction of magnetic field, then thumb indicates the direction of motion or direction of force. Now in such a case, apply this rule. So the rod is facing towards you in this case, because magnet is like this is south pole, north pole, and we have placed the rod in between, isn't it, like this. So the rod is facing you, so this is the direction of current from B to A, and in this way this is the direction of current and magnetic field is in upward direction, so the force is towards left. That's why the rod is deflected towards left. So the arrow, this blue arrow towards left, shows the direction of force. So I think it is clear to you. Fleming's left hand rule is used to find out the direction of force when a current carrying conductor is placed in a magnetic field. Now, according to this rule, if we stretch our middle finger, forefinger and thumb of left hand, that's why it is known as left hand rule. In such a way, the middle finger indicates the direction of current, the forefinger indicates the direction of magnetic field. So you can compare the fingers with the diagram. The rod is facing, aluminum rod is facing towards you, and north to south is the direction of magnetic field. Then you see thumb is towards left, so that's why I have drawn an arrow towards left. So the rod will experience a force in left direction. And if you change the direction of magnetic field like this. It means this is the current magnetic field. Suppose I make this pole south and north upwards. So magnetic field is from north to south, downward direction. So thumb is towards right. So we will write about it in next class, children, and we will discuss the questions also. Although what we have discussed in this activity, uh, if I will get time, I will give a note regarding this activity. What are the important points? I will send the lines in WhatsApp, and you must write it in your class work only, and must revise the things which we have discussed in the class. Thank you, children.